Happy coding.
Hey there, and Kevin here. Welcome to our first video of the week where we are going to learn about code editors and specifically an editor that I am recommending called Neocities. So in this class, we are going to be writing code, and to write code, you need to have a code editor. And there are a bunch of different kinds. So you can actually use stuff like Notepad, or I think it's called TextEdit on a Mac. I might be wrong, but it's whatever really basic text editor comes with your computer. You can use that to write code. You want a basic text editor, though, not a word processor. So something like Microsoft Word or Google Docs, where it's like really like rich text editing. Those won't work for writing code because they're specifically designed for writing like text content. Um, Whereas a code editor is specifically designed to write code. The reason you can use a basic text editor is because they don't really care what you're writing. It's just basic text. So the base text can be code, but even better than something like Notepad is a editor that's designed for code. So there are actually a ton of different code editors out there. And so if I just type in, I don't know, code editors, you're going to get a bunch of results, and some of these are kind of spammy, 17 best, blah, blah, blah. But I can highlight a few that are really popular. So Visual Studio Code, this is probably currently one of the most popular code editors out there. There are a bunch of other code editors. So I don't know, like Atom is an editor I use a lot, or if you're doing something in a different language, you might use something like IntelliJ or Eclipse. Those are all different text or code editors. And I think, come back to the kind of editor that you have to download in a future week. But for now, I am recommending a specific online code editor called Neocities. And there's a few reasons I like it. Let me maybe go to a um, a new tab in a like private window just so I'm not logged in. So if I go to, if I'm just gonna search for Neocities just to get started, and you can read all about it on Wikipedia, or you can just go to the homepage. So Neocities is a online code editor specifically designed for creating static websites, which is what we are going to be doing in this class. And I like it because it has an online editor, so you don't have to install anything, you don't have to download anything, and it has a free, what's called a host, which is a place where your files are stored so that other people can see them. If you edit your code sort of locally in like something like Notepad or VS Code, then you still have to find a place to upload your code. And Neocities kind of cuts through all of that, and it gives you a code editor that you use in your browser and a like automatic system for once you save your code, your website is hosted and you can share it out pretty easily. So I will run through that process. And so to prepare for that, basically go register for a Neocities site. And where's my Zoomy thingy? If you go to neocities.org, then you'll see this, and this is how you sign up. You can basically call your site anything. So your username is your site name. I'm boring, and I just chose my name, Kevin Workman. So if you go to kevinworkman.neocities.org, you can see my Neocities site, and I'll show that in a second. But you can call yours whatever you want. I will say that the way Neocities works is basically, unless you give them $5, I think, a month or something, you can only have one site. And we'll get around that by adding multiple pages to your site. But your top sort of domain of your of all of your web pages will be whatever you choose here. So it can be whatever you want, but sort of choose carefully because you can't change this later, and you can't like delete it and start a new one because they go off of your email address. So Call this whatever you want. I called mine Kevin Workman. You can call yours your name. You can call it, I don't know, like my great website. It doesn't really matter. Um, just choose something and then go through the registration process, which I have sort of outlined on this page, where you'll have to sort of click through a few screens. And so if it asks you to give them money, for now, choose the free option. If you love Neocities and you want to give them money in the future, I probably will. You can always do that later. But for now, choose the free option and then skip through some of these. When you land on this page, just click go to the dashboard here. And then finally, you'll see this page. And so you are now sort of caught up with what I have over here. So this is my website in Neocities. This is sort of my dashboard. And this gives me a few things. And so I can, first off, like this link up here, mine says kevinworkman.neocities.org. Yours will be whatever name you chose. This is going to be the URL that you start giving out when you like hand in your projects, or if you just want to share what you're doing with other folks. This is the URL you will use. So I think you can click this share button, or you can just copy it, and then it gives you some files, and I'll get to the files in a second, but let me just kind of click this and I'm going to open it up in a new tab. And by default, you have a website that looks like this, and it's got a few things. It's welcome to my website. It's got some paragraphs. It's got an image and some other stuff, basically just some starter code to use as an example. And the way that works is with these files, and you can click into each of them. They're not going to hurt you or anything, but the one we're going to care about most for this week is index.html. Actually, maybe for the project, what I'll have you do is create a new folder, but for now, just focus on index.html. So as I mouse over these things, I get a little edit button. So I guess I can't edit an image, but I can edit all of these files, and I can look at them and stuff. And these are yours, so you can change them. You're not going to break anything, and if you do, let me know and we can fix it. So I'm going to click edit in the index.html sort of thumbnail there. And that will take me to a code editor. This is the Neocities code editor, and it's a text editor. And what a code editor gives you, among other things, is what's called syntax highlighting. And that's the like little red things and like the different kind of formatting that it gives you. I wonder if it has like a auto formatter. It doesn't look like it, but that's okay. And it's just a little easier to read the code. And then you have some buttons up here that I will talk about in a second. Maybe I'll start at the top. And up here, you have a theme drop down, and you can play with that. I have sort of picked this one because I kind of like it, but it basically lets you change the color of your code editor. So if you want to be like a, I don't know, a 1980s hacker, you can have this one, or pick and choose whichever one sparks joy for you. And it's just kind of different color themes. This one looks like it kind of highlights things a little more obviously. So your text is black and your HTML tags are blue, maybe. So yeah, you can pick and choose. Now that I'm noticing that, maybe I will go back to a different one. Sure, I'll go with that one for now. But the colors are really up to you. Okay, so once you have your theme, then you can sort of look at the code itself. So we will talk in great depth about exactly what's happening here, but for now, just know that you can modify this. You can change the code in here, you can change the text in here. So instead of saying welcome to my website, I'm going to say something like, I don't know, maybe I'll just be boring. I'll say welcome to Kevin Workman's website. And up here, the save button sort of became enabled. So I'm going to save that and get a little thing. Your file has been saved. Okay, cool. And I've got a couple of options. I can click this view button, and sure, I'll do that. And that pops open the same link that I had earlier. So if you look way at the top here, It's kevinworkman.neocities.org. This is kind of random, but the fact that it's index.html, this is a sort of standard in web development where if you don't have a file at the end of your URL, it will automatically load index.html. So I can specifically say, give me index.html. It'll load the same thing, but you can also just kind of leave it blank. Okay, so that is editing the code, and maybe I won't go much further than that. I'll just say that you can edit the code here and then see changes over in the tab that you just opened. You don't have to keep clicking this view button over and over again. So maybe I'll add like, welcome to Kevin Workman's amazing website, and I'll hit save. And then I'll just go back to that tab that I already have open, and I'll just refresh. So I'm looking here at this text, and when I refresh, there it is. Welcome to Kevin Workman's amazing website. And that loop will become really familiar where you change some code over here and then refresh to see the results of your code. But I will talk much more about that in the next video where we actually get into HTML tags. So I will see you over there.